In this video, we're diving into the transition of the golf swing, the golf swing's moment of truth. We're going to be talking about common mistakes we see in a transition, what a good transition looks like, and some drills that are going to help you strike the ball better, stop slicing it, and start hitting that high draw we all want to hit. It's fairly safe to say that transition is golf's real moment of truth. As you start your downswing, you're setting the wheels in motion for how the club's going to move at the bottom, and you have to view it like that. How the club moves here, you're just going to react to it down here. It's actually really important that the club moves the way we want it to as you start the downswing, and your body moves into a position where you can get into that impact that we're trying to get into. So a good analogy for this is it's like steering a giant ship. It's very difficult to right the ship last minute. If you're trying to steer away from an obstacle, you've got to start really early, and that's really what the transition is. Unfortunately, if you make a transition where the club sort of moves away from where we want it to, you're going to be playing catch up at the last minute to make up for that. So if we move into like what are the common faults that we see, the first one is players opening their shoulders too early, and what has to happen then is most golfers will then early extend because the club gets too outside and too steep, so you have to react, otherwise you just swing over the top of the ball and miss it. Something else that happens quite a lot is from the top of the swing, their right arm will bend too much, they'll get too narrow, and again what that results in is the body stalling and the right arm having to fire, which then results in a flip and loss of control over your low point and your club face direction. And then the other one that we really don't want to see is from the top of the swing, the wrist angles cupping, and because what happens is when the club face opens, it's very unlikely in the 0.2 seconds that the downswing takes that you're then going to be able to somehow square that face up. And if you do manage it, it's just going to rely on massive hand action, massive release, massive flip. And again, we're trying to build a swing where the club face doesn't rely tons of manipulation through the ball. You know, if we want to be as consistent as possible, really what we're looking to do is get the club face as square as we can, as early as we can, so then we can turn through really manipulation free. So someone like Victor Hovland, yes, he has masses of club face rotation just like everybody else, but his club face is so shut so early. As he swings through, he looks like he's just able to hang on and hold it off, which is why he's one of the straightest hitters. Players like Dustin Johnson are another great example where the face is shut early and they can just sort of almost freewheel through. Players who get the face really open at the top generally are the handsiest players. Now, I'm not saying that you can't do that, but it just does make things a little bit more difficult than it needs to be, certainly if you're not able to practice 5, 6, 7 days a week for hours and hours and hours at a time. So if you're one of those players who either narrows the right arm too much, cups the wrist, or turns and opens up too early, then this video is definitely going to help you out. So for the average club golfer, there's 3 things that I'm really looking to see as we transition from backswing into downswing. So the first one is a transition where there's a really good shift of the hips towards the target. This is going to help transfer our weight, and what this actually does is it delays our shoulders opening a fraction, which allows our arms to move down into a better position and the club to shallow out a little bit. A lot of golfers I see teaching day to day are people who are spinning because they've been told to turn or they've been told to rotate hard, which is fine, but what that results in is people, when they turn too early, they're always going to sort of be too much weight on the right foot. The low point of their swing is generally going to be behind the ball, which means they're either going to be bending their arms or swiping across it, hitting that weak fade. Most PGA Tour players, when they swing into the ball, have sort of basically 80% of their weight on their lead foot at impact. In order to move your mass over to that 80% on the lead foot, you have to start shifting across really early. So as you're rounding the top of the swing, you should be leaning with the hips, shifting the hips across early, so that as your arms come down, we can then just focus on turning out of it. Oh hey, you're still here, thank you. So most of you guys watching this are not subscribers, and although the few subscribers that are watching this, thank you very much for being here, I could really do with the help. If you subscribe, like and comment, even if you think I'm stupid, that really boosts the engagement. It helps get this video out to more people and helps me grow. So anything you can do to help, that'd be great. The second thing that I'm looking for in a good transition is from the top. I want to see the club moving back and away from the golf ball. So I want to see the arc of the club head widening further back behind me. But what should happen is, from the top of the swing, once we've started to shift our hips across, we should be using our sort of trail arm to push that club away and behind us, which shallows the shaft out and is going to allow us to hit it from the inside. Generally what you see in an amateur player is, from the top of their swing, they're narrowing the arc, bending their right arm, creating that laggy position, which then pulls the hands over and then shortens the distance from the club head to ball, which then gets us in a position where we just have to stand and flick, where someone like McIlroy, from the top, he sends the club out and away behind him, which then traces them. He then is able to trace a massive arc with the club head and then really powerfully rotate through the ball. If we can get that early shift and then widen the arc behind us, we are really on our way into a strong downswing. And then point 3, the cherry on the cake in a perfect transition, is our left wrist remaining flat or even starting to bow. So what this is going to do is just help us shut the face earlier, get that face closed. It's going to set us up to hit a draw shot. It's going to allow us to strike the ball with our hands ahead, which is going to give us that compression and that sound and that feel that we all strive for. You know, this is the move that's going to stop you slicing it. This is the move that's going to stop you fatting and thinning it. Getting the wrist into that bowed off flex position, combined with the early shift and the widening of the arc, it's just going to give us golf shots that are well struck with a good shape, and you're going to find it much easier to hit the ball to target. People who do the opposite, where they open early, they narrow the arc and they cup the wrist, that is your stereotypical slicer. Most people watching this, that is you. So we can really start to work on widen the arc, bow the wrist, shift the hips, and that's going to give us the sort of shots that we want. And it's just so easy to draw the ball from there. It really is really easy to draw the ball from there. It's like such a strong feeling. You know, it's going to help you gain speed. It's going to help you strike the ball before the ground. We can get too focused on the takeaway, and we can get too focused on what our impact looks like. But takeaway, does it matter? Does it not? What our impact look like? Yes, that does really matter. But our impact is a reaction to what we do with the club up here. So if we get this bit right, our impact will always look better. Shift, bow, widen. So what drills can we do? You know I love a drill. Anytime we can do a drill and hit golf balls whilst doing the drill, it's going to help us accelerate our learning. It's going to help us learn to do these moves quicker. So first drill I like is, I just call it the closed alignment drill, where you're going to swing up to the top and then you're going to swing down and not open your body, not turn your body towards the target. So you're going to swing down, trying to keep your back to target, your chest pointing away. And what that's going to allow you to do is widen the arc, bow the wrist, and just shift. Most people I teach who fade the ball or slice the ball naturally really struggle with this one, because they're so used to initiating their downswing with a spin. So swinging up to the top and then swinging down without opening your body is a really foreign feeling to them. But this is a really sort of pretty much guaranteed way to get you swinging from the inside, get you out of that slice pattern, get you into a hook pattern. You're going to swing up to the top, then you're going to swing down and hit the ball with really trying to not open your body at all. Now that's you know, it's very hard to do, but you get a great feel for shift and extending the arms. So up, hold your body shut, we've shifted, and then we're just going to extend the arms. And you can see that I'm a hooker of the ball. That ball didn't even get in the air, the face was shut, I was away from the inside. That's absolutely perfect for slices. And it's, you can you'll be able to see from the down the line camera that the club is so inside and I'm releasing it. It's absolutely perfect for slices. The second drill I like is like the motorcycle drill, I think people call it, is where you're going to swing up to the top and extend the right arm and bow the wrist, almost as if you're like revving a motorcycle, and then swing down and hit it. So, and when people do that, push away, bow the wrist, again, it's really, really hard to slice the ball from here. It's really hard to swing across the ball from here, because it's just, when you've sent the club away and shut the face, it just doesn't make sense in your brain to cut across the ball. So push away, rev the motorcycle, and then turn through. Again, we're taking the loft down, we're shutting the face early. It's going to allow us to hit it from the inside, and we're going to hit that low draw. Hopefully you now understand a bit more about this really, really important part of the swing. This video follows on from the grip, the posture, the setup, the takeaway, the backswing. This is the sort of the fourth or fifth video in the Build Your Swing sort of series that I'm doing. If you've not seen those, go back and watch them. If you're struggling with specific shots, then I've done how to draw the ball, how to fade the ball, go and have a look at those. And thank you for watching.